Good afternoon to you. Stage 6 from the Tour of Britain here, from Welshpool to Caerphilly, twice over Caerphilly Mountain. This will be the stage that really shakes people up and sorts out the order coming towards the end of this Tour of Britain. Yesterday, there was a very fine win for Marc de Meer. Early crashes, holding people up, but the stage from Trentham Gardens back to Handley in Stoke had Ivan Basso in a break, delighting the crowds. Mark Cavendish dropped on the hilly sections over the Peak District, and Bradley Wiggins waiting for him in the end. Oh, and everybody going a little bit too far on at the end, but it was Marc de Meer who took it out of the break. Lee Howard gets the gold jersey on his shoulders, with Boy van Poppel in second and Sepp van Mark now in third. Nathan Haas, who can still climb pretty well, is in fourth, and Christian Knees fifth. Best Britain, Jonathan Tiernan-Lock in sixth spot. Well, a bit of a whistle-stop tour of yesterday. It was a bit more significant than that, a bit more action-packed. And Lee Howard, the Australian, riding with Orica Green Edge, now in the gold leaders jersey. Did very well to be in the second group yesterday, over the top of Gun Hill, which was the only significant little dig really to split the field up. However, the long drag over the moors beforehand had tailed a few of the slower riders off, including Mark Cavendish. Bradley Wiggins deciding to wait for him. The gap was enormous, and Wiggins and Cavendish coming in over 10 minutes down. Wiggins not starting this morning. The old stomach bug strikes for Bradley Wiggins, and not starting this morning's day. Stoke-on-Trent will be the swan song. He won't make it down to the southwest of England, and he won't make it over Caerphilly Mountain today. There are some riders in a breakaway up the road at the moment. Number 21, Marcin Berbelocchi of Node for Giordano Racing. He's lying at 12 minutes and 12 seconds down. Christian House is in the break again today. More points available for the Mountains classification jersey, which is why he's out there. He's 25 minutes or so down on the general classification. Dan Craven again in a break. The bearded Namibian flyer from Team IG Sigma Sport. He's 13 minutes and 55 down on the GC, but again in a breakaway. He was looking quite strong the other day. There is your leader, Lee Howard, from Orica Green Edge. From Team UK Youth, the mighty Magnus Backstead, best placed on the overall classification. There he is in the white, number 152. He's the best placed man in GC at 6:59. Graham Briggs of Rally, 32.34. And the last man in the break, who the team car is going up to, it's been very attentive, the Ann Post Sean Kelly team car. We've seen a lot of it in our cameras. Clearly, you know, very experienced racing on the continent. They know what they're doing. Peter Gilbert, the Belgian rider from Ann Post in the green, 21 minutes and 11 seconds. They were slightly delayed on the start today. You can see there's 71.5 kilometers still to go. These guys rolling along, but there's no great hurry here. 3 minutes and 35 seconds is the gap. This is Backstead on the back. Look at the difference inside between Backstead and Gilbert. Just to get me through the breakaway riders again, Backstead of Team UK Youth, Briggs of Rally, Gilbert of the Ann Post team, House of Rafa Condor, Craven of IG Sigma, and Berbelocchi of Node for Giordano. The man everybody's eyes on today in the Enduro colours, John Tiernan-Lock. Graham Jones is with me again in the commentary box. He will be with you tomorrow and Sunday with Carlton Kirby alongside him, as I have to jet off to Valkenburg for the World Championships, which will be nice.
We hope they're going to be nice.
We hope they're going to be nice. Graham, a long day today. This sort of countryside, this is exactly the sort of terrain that I ride in when I go out, because this is almost, well, this is almost where my home is right now, where they are now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good stage, this one. We did a similar stage last year, finishing Caerphilly. Brecon Beacons and Caerphilly Mountain this year. They've had a little sting in the tail by going twice up Caerphilly Mountain. So I do think today is going to be the real sort out. And if I had to put some money on it, if I had to say who's going to win this Tour of Britain overall, I would say it's going to be decided pretty much today.
So too.
Britain's cyclists have conquered the world. Now they're coming home. Tour of Britain, Sunday 2 p.m. Stage 1 exclusively live on British Eurosport 2 HD.
Miss Walters.
In life, there are no retakes or rehearsals. We have just one chance to do the best we can for the people we love. The LV 50 Plus plan can help you do just that. It's especially for people aged between 50 and 80 living in the UK. With full cover after just 1 year, it'll pay out a cash lump sum when you're no longer around to help pay towards funeral costs and any other unpaid bills. Anyone can take out cover starting from £5 a month, but the more you pay, the greater the amount of life cover you'll get, and your monthly payment won't go up. You don't have to go to your GP, and you don't have to answer any health questions. You're guaranteed to be accepted, and there's a choice of free gift after your plan starts. LV have been looking after families for over 160 years, providing peace of mind for millions of people. Call LV today on 0800 163 153. That's 0800 163 153, or visit lv.com. And now you could get more cover for your money.
You can reach me many ways. It don't matter how and when. Simply make the time for the best time of your life. Malaysia, truly Asia. It's the place with it all. The best time of your life. Malaysia, truly Asia.
Eurosport Player is the Eurosport multi-screen service. With Eurosport Player, watch British Eurosport and British Eurosport 2 live on all your favourite devices through a single subscription. Follow great sporting events live and on demand. Enjoy exclusive content such as multi-table coverage for snooker tournaments. Eurosport Player. All sports, all emotions, all screens. What's the best way to approach the game of snooker? 1. An innate grasp of physics and geometry. 2. Superpowers of concentration. 3. An assassin's eye for execution. And 4. A God-given talent to make the breaks. Bring the works and prove it on the table. The Shanghai Masters, Monday morning at 7:30, live on British Eurosport.
Kilometres to go. It's a very fast run down again, and these men are chasing hard. Caruso from Liquigas, I think Koenig from NetApp, and he's got, is that I think the rider who is with him at the moment is what, touching 70, 75k an hour, something like that. I think the rider who with him is Jan Barter. Crikey, you don't want Jan Barter to descend for you. Saw him in the Giro d'Italia. Did you see him in the Giro d'Italia, Graham? Unbelievable.
Really? No, I didn't see that.
I've never seen a man pedal, you know, going round. It was like going around like a threatening pit. Every single corner was just painful to watch. I'm surprised he didn't fall off. And then Andre Amador from Movistar came past him at completely opposite end of the scale. So reckless, we thought he was going to career off the road. The man from the GB team, Josh Edmondson, once again up here at the front. He's having a fantastic Tour of Britain. The young man in the GB colours. Caruso is chasing hard. Briggs, well, it's in Briggs's interest to work with John Tiernan-Locke here. If Briggs can drive this on and Tiernan-Locke can come through, can they stay away? The way Briggs is climbing, well, there's every chance that he could have the stage win.
Yeah, definitely. But I think he'd struggle to follow him up the next climb, though.
Well, they haven't made it stick by the look of it. It looks as though they're not going to be able to get away from these riders here. Still trying to get people to work together in a wheel. Is that Samuel Sanchez? I think it is. I think that is Sanchez, the former Olympic champion, in the orange there, trying to get everybody to work together in a wheel. And that is, I think, typical of what we've seen in this Tour of Britain, Graham. It's not quite organised as quick as it would be on the continent.
No, I mean, I must admit, I thought Tiernan Lock was going to go away from them then, and the groups behind are split. But we've got a group here that's forming behind them, and I think we've still got one or two maybe who are still in that original break. Is that Biablocchi that's still there?
Yeah, Biablocchi from the original break is in here. It's Christian. Look, Caruso, experienced Italian, trying to get them to start working together in a group, going round and round and round. That's very disorganised. And look at this, riding across the gap. I think it's Leopold Koenig. I've not really had a good look at him, but Koenig was going very, very well yesterday, and it looks like his sort of gaunt features.
They're coming under the 1 kilometre to go banner, but they don't go across the line.
No.
They go straight past the last corner.
There we are, confirmation. It is Koenig. So Koenig, Tiernan Lock and Graham Briggs together. They're not going to chase. They're not going to do anything here.
Koenig is not a threat overall, so this is a good little group, and they're not getting together, are they, behind?
They are not. Nothing at all. I don't see Boy Van Poppel in this group. And that's Chris Jones right at the back. And this, I think, is our man from the breakaway, Peter Gilbert. We just wonder if Gilbert was sandbagging a little bit. He just looked as though he was not really putting in maximum effort. And he can see that behind, they're really not organised. It is very disorganised. He's ridden across there pretty quick. So they're still not going great guns. Somebody else coming out now, and now they're beginning to react here. 7.6 kilometres. Leopold Koenig of Netap comes through. Looks like Lallet of, David Lallet of Sojason. He's had a very good Tour of Britain. They cannot get it together, can they? They really cannot get it together. What is going on? Why can't they get it together? And why is Koenig pushing quite so hard here? Why aren't the four of them just absolutely nailing it?
Yeah, well, we'll just turn the right now, coming up to the climb again. Koenig, of course, if he can hang on to Tiernan Lock's a good one for him, possibly to take the stage. But Tiernan Lock's just got to concentrate now on opening the gap, because nobody else there is any threat to him at the moment. But he's 24 seconds off the lead of Howard, so that's what he's going to be looking at, sort of at least, well, to take the jersey, at least 14 seconds and then the bonus.
Damiano Caruso is driving it along on the front. Howard is, I think, struggling. Coming into the climb again, it's John Tiernan Lock of Endura. Wants this home tour. Flicks the elbow. Koenig says, no, you want it, you take it. He's going to have to do a bit more of a turn on the front, Tiernan Lock. That's clever by Koenig. Let him do a little bit more. Just take the wind a little bit more. And Graham Briggs is decidedly hanging in, one has to say, and the peloton not far behind, with the gold jersey of Lee Howard being brought back at this point.
Yeah, it's a little coming back together there again, but probably just coming back together just as they hit the climb, so I expect that to split up again. Tiernan Lock's just got to keep his head down now and keep going, but I do expect him to pull away. Who's got any legs to come across from the back? There's Graham Briggs just losing contact as we probably expected to do. So.
That's a great shame for Briggsy. That's a great ride. He went up this hill once already in very good shape and stuck with Tiernan Lock. But it's Koenig who's been in very, very good shape. And he's not going to contribute much to this. There's nothing much you can do on a mountain anyway.
No, well, he's just thinking of the stage win now, and Tiernan Lock will no doubt be saying to him, you know, gentleman's agreement, so come on, work with me, mate, you can have the stage win, I just want the overall lead.
Absolutely, and Koenig is going, no thanks, not just at the moment. Oh, brilliant riding by Edmondson, look at this.
He looks good, actually. I'm quite impressed with him.
He's very impressive. Yep. Very, very impressive by young Josh Edmondson, who is going to do the chasing. It's all down to individuals here that's just not got it together at all behind. That's a clever move by Edmondson. He's just hung in there and thought, right, I'm going to go for this one. Tiernan Lock from Enduro Racing, the man from Devon. He's still got this home county to get to. But that's a big gap now, Graham. It's about, what, 15, 20 seconds or more?
Yep, I think it's actually going to continue to grow as well, the way this is going. You can, as you say, there's no real organising. It's sort of ones and twos here and there, somebody having a bit of an effort, then getting caught, and then easing up. So just put your head down.
Yep, Tiernan Lock, I think, has to go even a little bit harder. If he could put himself into the red, just coming over the top here, he will. The colours of Aberystwyth CC I can see at the side of the road there. And unsurprisingly, Tiernan Lock looking over his shoulder. He's doing all the work. Koenig is looking good at the moment, but I think he may be, I'm not sure he is pulling out much more of a gap. Seems to have settled back into a pattern a bit. There we are. You could see the next riders on the climb. There's not much gap to Josh Edmondson coming over. Caruso is the next man down the hill. Tiernan Lock has to continue to keep riding away as hard as possible. 29 seconds now, the gap. Remember that Tiernan Lock started the day 24 seconds down. He needs to put, I think he needs to put more time into them here.
Yeah.
First time in the whole race, Graham, he looks like he's putting some effort in here.
Yeah, but that gap is going now. I think he's showing 40 seconds.
Look at that.
Showing 40 seconds to the yellow jersey, or the gold jersey.
4 to the gold jersey, but the question is, where are Christian Knees, Sepp van Mark, Damiano Caruso? Boy van Poppel doesn't seem to be able to stay with them. I think he's probably with the Lee Howard group. Christopher Jones is was in the group. Not wishing to rain on your parade, sirs, at the side of the road. But it's not big and it's not clever.
No, again, drives me mad, that does.
This is great riding by this man here, Josh Edmondson. He's looking like he's going to be a star of the future. Fantastically good riding, and Leopold Koenig is having a super day as well, but it is all down to Tiernan Lock, isn't it? What is that person doing on somebody's shoulders? Get out of the road.
Just don't realise how dangerous it is, do they? Trip up, slip, and catch somebody else who's not looking the other way and bang into them, and suddenly you've fallen in front of a rider or even damaged yourself.
Yeah, it's we've got so much catching up to do, haven't we?
I saw some harsh treatment by some of the gladiators. Welter throwing people who were doing it up.
Absolutely, and the gendarmerie in the tour are pretty, I should say, pretty robust with their dealing of them. Edmondson, I think, is making ground here. Josh Edmondson is making ground on these two, Tiernan Lock and Koenig. Koenig is not willing to go for this at all. John Tiernan Lock is going to be very dischuffed with Leopold Koenig. Okay, it's one thing sitting behind somebody on a climb because you say, well, you want to take this jersey, go ahead, pull out the gap. It's another thing getting on the flat and not doing any work.
Yeah, well, I would expect him now, if he has got any sense, if he wants to win the stage. I mean, Tiernan Lock's got one thing in his mind now, and that is just putting as much daylight between himself and the riders behind. And Koenig himself, though, if he wants to win the stage, he's going to need to contribute a little bit, you would think, especially on that, once you get off this descent. We've still got about 1 kilometre kilometre and a half before the finish.
Well, you know, even if he wins the sprint, Leopold Koenig, I've got to say, he's going to not be popular with Tiernan Lock, that's for sure. Josh Edmondson is doing a very fine ride, and I wonder, in fact, whether he's going to catch these two. What sort of gap has he got? It's 10 seconds. He's going to have to absolutely bury himself. Remember, he's still an amateur rider, Josh Edmondson. There he is. Come on, lad. Much as I'd like to see Tiernan Lock take the overall jersey, I'd love to see Josh Edmondson take a win here.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for him to get across to those two now on the terrain that we've got left. I just hope it'd be fantastic if he just finished third. He can stay away from that group behind him.
He was top 15 in the Nationals. And he's had some good placings, actually, on the continent. 10th overall in the Giro della Valle d'Aosta, which is in the Mont Blanc area.
How old is he?
He's only 21.
Is that right? Yeah.
20, actually.
Good.
20, I think he still is.
Yeah, looks very promising.
Tiernan Lock is having to win this all by himself because Leopold Koenig is doing absolutely knack all to help him, frankly. That's a technical phrase we use in commentary. And Josh Edmondson is being caught by Ivan Basso and Damiano Caruso. The experience of Basso bringing Caruso back up. And the gap is now, what, 11 seconds? And it looks as though Caruso may be the man. And I think is it Christian Canese in that group as well, as we see the gold jersey of the leader. At 34 seconds. Remember, Tiernan Lock was at 24 seconds. Oh, miracles do happen. Koenig is now driving it towards the line.
I think he's got a sniff of the stage victory now.
Yep.
You know, you would expect him to do this. It's not a done deal by any means because, you know, there are bonuses. And for Tiernan Lock, you know, he will probably want every second that he can. But I would fully expect or be surprised if Koenig didn't win the stage.
Tiernan Lock has only 11 seconds over the group behind that contains some of the top men here. Caruso was at 24 seconds, exactly the same as Tiernan Lock. Christian Canese at 24 seconds, Nathan Haas at 23, Van Marks at 17, Jones at 34. Tiernan Lock will take the gold jersey by a handful of seconds. That is, of course, if Lee Howard can't close the gap of 24 seconds. He's up 34 at the moment. Yeah,
it's going to be quite close though. These two don't want to mess around. I see Tiernan Lock there just having a quick word with him, and to a certain extent now he's just got to forget about it.
Yeah,
just keep his head down.
He's got to forget about it completely, I think, about the fact that Koenig is royally done him over.
Because what's going to happen here is he should have enough to take the jersey, but it's still only going to be second, so he needs every second he can, because Howard's going to pick up possibly still some sprint points, you know, if there are any more sprints in this stage or in the other stages.
Koenig is going for the line now with John Tiernan Lock behind him. Sprints for the line. Koenig wants the stage win. Behind him, Jonathan Tiernan Lock wants the time.
I think there's a second in between those, so I would say I'm going for 0.3 there. So keep your eye on the clock. So there we go, 7. It's not going to be much.
This is Sepp Van Mark driving for the line. Remember, it was absolutely the same times. Sepp Van Mark at 17 and Canese at 17 as well. Christian Canese at 17 seconds, I make it. That's a 16-second gap between them. This is Lee Howard. Howard over the line, 32 seconds. He loses the jersey, but not by a huge amount.
Yeah, and by my calculations, quick calculations, roughly is going to be about 8 seconds plus 6 seconds, so there's going to be 14 seconds or so between the two, so it's not over by any means yet.
It's not a done deal at all, this. 14 seconds roughly the gap between them. Ivan Basso Still has a bit of a smile. He's had to work for Damiano Caruso there to keep him going. And Lee Howard probably said thanks very much to a few people. Graham Briggs coming over. He's got a great ride. That was a really good ride by Briggsy.
Yeah, he's still not finished too far behind, has he?
No,
So,
no.
Possibly the one we were least expecting out of that breakaway group. But yeah, tremendous ride by Briggsy.
Split up all over the place. Lee Howard here had the day in the gold leader's jersey, and that's a good result for a man like that. Leopold Koenig of NetApp takes the win. Interesting, isn't it? These two teams are merging next year, and I would have thought that perhaps they'd have worked a bit better together.
Yeah, possibly, but under the battle, you just don't know how Koenig was feeling as well, really.
You do, he out-sprinted him.
He out-sprinted the other. There's another GB lad in that group as well, so there's two of the young team have managed to stay in that group. That's good riding by them. Seems as though they're riding into the race.
Yep, and Sanchez was in that group. I had a feeling he was moving up to have a go at things, but they just could not get it organised behind, and he wasn't going to go for it himself.
And let's see, the confirmation of the stage, yeah, 18 seconds to the Haas group.
Koenig, Tiernenlock, Nathan Haas, Damiano Caruso, Luke Rowe, Paul Voss, Chris Jones, Simon Yates in the group there. Bartosz Haraski and Liam Holohan. Quick confirmation then that Tiernenlock is the new leader of the Tour of Britain. The win went to Leopold Koenig in the end. Didn't contribute an awful lot in the last 10 kilometres or so. Interesting for two teams that are going to merge next year, NetApp and Endura. But Tiernenlock only after the gold jersey of race leader. He managed that, maybe by not as big a margin as he would have liked, but he has seconds in the bag, and he's on home roads tomorrow in Devon in the gold leader's jersey. From myself, David Harmon, and from Graham Jones, bye for now.